That's
Hey,
why.
Showtime, Shawn Porter, man, just giving Terrence Crawford some hair tips, bro.
No. I think he was serious though, but
Nah, he looked like he was
serious.
serious. He had some action underneath that dude.
man, he been just a good dude, man. As soon as he walked away, I said, "That's my guy." You know what I mean?
Very true.
That's how we get down, man. I did a show a couple days ago. I said, man, I never when we link, we never really talk boxing. You know what I mean? We might a little bit, but for the most part, man, we cut all that off, and it's just homeboy and homeboy. You know what I mean? Old school.
What was the last thing you beat Terrence at?
Oh, hold on, don't do that.
Oh,
Don't
thank
do
you.
that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Don't
Thank you.
do that.
Fix it.
we were in Houston, and I was like, you know what? I asked him, I said, yo, you play pool? And you know, of course, he gave me the Terrence go. Of course, I said, man, you don't play no pool. Let's go get it in later. It rained all night, so we ended up not going to play pool. But that's probably the next thing I'm gonna challenge you, man, is some pool. So I'm a decent pool player.
Think you got him?
I bet he don't even know how to hold a stick. But he good at everything. So in his mind, he gonna be all right.
Let's talk about the fights.
Yeah.
Super Bowl week. First off, Shawn,
Yeah.
first time Super Bowl in Las Vegas, man. We've got a big event, Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz on this Thursday, right before the Super Bowl, man. Talk to us about the fight. Break it down a little bit.
Listen, man, let me just real quick. The Super Bowl is in Las Vegas. You did a Thursday night fight. I truly hope that Top Rank and everyone involved took advantage of the Super Bowl being here. You can't expect people to drive past a billboard and think, oh yeah, I'll go to that Thursday. I ain't got nothing else going on. They're going to go out and eat. They're going to go out and kick it at a bar or something like that. You got to give people a reason to be here. So, man, I'm crossing my fingers hoping that they utilize the big event, the Super Bowl being here. All that being said, man, I think it's a really good fight to have during the Super Bowl. You know, it's no, you ain't spent tons and tons of money on it. It's not that big of a fight, but it's a really good card. And the main event is a fight that I think the casuals may not truly understand, but hopefully the takeover has took over, enough of these casuals that they want to tune in. But man, at the end of the day, I do think that Jermaine Ortiz is going to challenge Teofimo. I look at both of them having, the versatility, both of them being athletic, both of them being quick, both of them having some pop. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be it's gonna be back and forth. I think it's gonna be a lot of close rounds, and those are the fights I like.
What were your thoughts on, Teofimo saying that he reached out to Devin, spoke to Devin, tried to make, that fight for this weekend, and Devin kind of dismissed them, said, go talk to the boss a little bit.
Listen, man, Devin had just fought. What was that? No, that was December. He just fought in December. You know what I mean?
I believe the talks were prior to him challenging Regis,
but
maybe that was in the plan already.
Here, listen, man. At the end of the day, the manager has a plan, the promoter has a plan, and then the fighter has the plan. The fighter doesn't always get what he wants. Sometimes, in the case of a Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or Tank Davis, some of these guys have had the ability to really just call their own shots and do what they want to do. But for the most part, that doesn't happen in the boxing world. Usually, it's the manager's plan that really takes place, or the promoter's plan that really takes place. So, no matter what Teofimo was saying, let's look at what Mr. Bill Haney did. Mr. Bill went up to 140 and got a belt. He went up and got a belt against a guy that didn't have any feet, that lacked experience, that wasn't fast, and he knew he could get that belt. Was that wrong of him? Hell no. Would you do that opposed to take on a fight like this, not knowing what you at the end of the day, you are playing against the Super Bowl. People aren't coming until day of, or because the tickets so expensive. The list goes on. So there's other obstacles why you want to use this game to your advantage. There's still a lot of obstacles to get past. I don't think you could do a Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney Thursday before the Super Bowl. Hell of an idea. I don't know the business that well to know if it would work. But that fight wasn't what it was gonna be for Bill and them. So hey, we hear you, T.O., but if you're being realistic, you probably knew the fight wasn't happening too.
You talked about big obstacles. Biggest obstacle for Teofimo Lopez right now is clearly Jermaine Ortiz. Like you talked about before, Jermaine Ortiz, fast, young, and strong. Isn't it a trip how we watched Teofimo Lopez be the youngster and the new kid on the block, and now here comes another young, hungry guy looking to flip your card over?
Yeah, go ahead.
How does Teofimo Lopez turn back Ortiz on fight night?
I think Teofimo has to use his experience. He has to come to the ring understanding this is a 12-round fight, a 12-round war, and this guy hasn't been in a 12-round fight the way that I have with people like me, and he can't hold a candle to me. You know what I mean? You figure out what he wants to do, you make adjustments along the way, but you have your eyes set on 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th round. That's when I really turn it up and separate myself and show people that I'm the guy. So to me, that's the mindset of a champion. That's the mindset of an experienced warrior that understands. This guy's young. There's other things he's lagging that are going to come into play on fight night, and I have to push those buttons. Experienced fighters know how to push those buttons.
Shawn, you recently went back and forth with Gervonta Davis a little bit on Twitter after he saw, I believe you saying something about how you kind of understood why, something about Devin Haney and why that fight wasn't coming to play in the business aspect.
I'm throwing your words in your face. After the Mario Barrios fight, you said, I'm not going back to 140. That cuts out every big fight at 140 until he's ready to move up. If he ain't said he's ready to move up, you know what I mean? I think the Shakur Stevenson Tank Davis fight is the best fight to be made in boxing right now. Stylistically, the ticket sale, the whole nine is what it is. You know what I mean? And I hate that people would rather talk about Devin Haney and Tank at 140. Not even realizing that fight is just Tank said what it is. So he didn't. I guess when your name is said and it ain't the things that you want heard, you feel like you got to say something back.
You said something about that the business of boxing, and for you kind of alluded to like not wanting to give the public too much kind of knowing what the business of boxing. Can you elaborate?
This is what I'll say about that. I'm dangerous to boxing. I'm dangerous to boxing because, number one, man, my faculties are straight. And I can articulate everything that I know very well. And I had a dad who was a hardhead, and he brought that to the sport of boxing. He learned it, and he gave it all to me. Grace of God, he's still here. But the way I move and operate now with my podcast and everything else that I do, I could really freeze up a lot of things that go on in this sport, and I don't, because it's just I'm not gonna get paid for freezing stuff. You know what I mean? Things that I see and how it moves, and I'll give you guys one just so that you guys understand what I'm saying here. But basically, I don't want to mess up the business for any of these guys while they're doing their thing. It's not just because I know. Don't mean I'm supposed to do it so that everybody get a click. I don't do nothing for clicks. I do not do anything for clicks. So I'm not gonna mess up anybody's game, how they rhythm, how they do their thing. But I will say this: if we rewind back to Bernard Hopkins pushing Bill Haney, Bill came in trying to run the game, and you can't run the game with somebody that knows the game. You can run it with other people, but you can't run that with Bernard. Bernard, like, all right, you want to be loud, you want to make a scene? Here we go. I'm going to push you. And Bernard didn't run away. Bernard walked away because he knows nothing's going to happen. You wanted this, so here it is. You wanted a show, I'll give you guys a show. And that's the game. So, smoke and mirrors is what boxing is about.
So